place, the city. The location, St. John Lutheran Church. The crime, unusual church growth. My name, Schultz, Pastor Schultz. It was on a dreary day in January of 2021 when I was called to investigate. It seems that this church, which was slated for closure and demolition, was somehow growing. A mystery indeed. Here are the facts, just facts. As expected, members of the church began to leave, taking their time, talents, and treasures with them. The pastor and his wife moved to serve a new congregation. No one had visited the church for a long time. A deadly virus forced other members not to attend for fear of catching it. Attendance dropped significantly. Giving dropped significantly. The church dipped into its savings in order to keep going. Everything was going according to plan. With no pastor, low attendance, and low giving, it would only be a matter of time before the church closed its doors for good. But then something happened. A small remnant of members refused to leave. They banded together. They bonded together. They found a pastor to serve them. They started praying for God to rescue their church. They started attending Bible class. They got into God's Word through personal Bible study and devotion. You can't find the current portals of prayer anywhere in the building. They're all being used. They identified and invited their friends, relatives, associates, and neighbors to start or restart coming to church. They provided masks, hand sanitizers, online live streaming of worship services, paid a company to completely sanitize their building. They advertised in the paper, on Facebook, through emails, with text messages and invitations through the mail. Most devastating of all, they actually talked to their friends, their relatives, their associates, and their neighbors, something that was never expected for Lutherans to do. When their friends attended, they even sat with them and made them feel welcome. They followed up with them, inviting them to church events, sending them notes of encouragement, something virtually unheard of. The result was devastating to the plan. The church is growing. It's the reason why I'm investigating and reporting to you today. People have started visiting the church. 2/3 of the total Christmas attendance was first-time visitors. Now, many members have started to return. The church has turned into a group of happy givers, and I'm told, and it is reported, that they will also welcome unhappy givers. Recent financial reports reveal more was given than was spent, much more, even after they purchased new video equipment, sound equipment, computers, software programs, Bibles, confirmation materials, newspaper ads, promotional giveaways, printers, everything. They increased printing costs, mailing costs, but they could still not outspend the giving. It looks like there is no end in sight to the many blessings that God is giving this church. They are even planning to erect a bell tower in thankfulness for the 65 years that God has given them, with an eye for the next 65 more. Expensive? Yes, but very doable for this church. Whose plan was it to close this church? After much research, I can tell you that it wasn't God's plan. God's plan is being revealed to these believers every day, and they are listening and obeying. He told them to pray, and they're praying. He told them to read, listen, and inwardly digest God's Word, and they are, through Bible class, worship, devotions, and more. He told them to invite, and they are inviting. He told them to give their treasures, and they are giving. He told them to give their time, and they're putting in the time. He told them to give up their talents, and they are gladly serving. He told them not to neglect the gathering together of believers to worship, and they are gathering. face to face, mask to mask, face to screen, any way they can to obey God's word. He told them to be ready to implement new ideas and concepts to reach the lost, and they are open and ready. If they keep this up, nothing will stop them from fulfilling His Great Commission. By the way, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay around a while longer to investigate further. The name? Schultz. Pastor Schultz.